Hey, it's Stace here from Sacred Art and Story, and I thought I would pop on for just a minute here, and just say a little something about art and creativity and regulating our nervous systems right now. Um, I think that we're living in a time where there is just a lot that's going on that is impacting us at levels that we don't always pay attention to. I feel like we're living in a world where we have just a big, huge fire hose of information coming at us. There's a lot that's happening that for many of us is feeling really difficult to hear and see and know how to respond to. Um, and I know that for myself, I feel like I'm having more and more sort of moments where my nervous system just feels like it's hit its peak. It's like at its tipping point. And I have to really be conscious of like finding moments where I'm taking those deep breaths, but really kind of coming back in into myself in a way that I can reset like that nervous system, like come back to a place where I can just actually breathe and feel like I have some kind of agency or some way of moving through the world that feels a bit more powerful than sometimes I feel. And I really find that for me, art is the way to do that. Um, I love to needle felt. It's really something that I've always done, and I love to do it in the winter particularly. But there's something about needle felting that I think it's the repetition. You're poking constantly, right? And there's a rhythm that you get into with it, and I think it does something, at least for me, where I just start to sort of notice like a different sort of inner timing that all of a sudden I'm responding to. It's the motion, the repetition, just the pacing that I kind of get into that slows me down, and it kind of gives me a really different way of just recognizing myself, and I can kind of stop thinking in a way, with that kind of art. Um, and I think that's really important. I mean, I think that right now we need to find things like that. We need to find moments where we're in joy and creativity. Um, Creativity, to me is the energy that is the antidote sometimes to sort of the amped up nervous system, where we can kind of come back into this relationship that we have with creativity and feel creative, feel like we have power, feel like we have like this co-creative energy moving through us in a way where we're a part of something, and I think that that's how we kind of feel alive, and um, I tap into that, through the art that I create. That's one of the easiest ways for me to kind of get back to it, of like realizing that I can make something out of nothing, in a sense, that blank page or, whatever it is. And so anyway, I've just been really trying to find moments where I create that. And I think right now that's really important, coming back to, giving yourself intentional time around your creativity and joy, and doing something that feels like it slows you down. It gets you to sort of stop thinking from sort of that mental brain and coming back into just sort of your creative mind. But I do think the repetition, is really kind of an interesting thing. Like it moves you into sort of this self-soothing sort of vibe, I think. So I've been looking for something like that to do other than needle felting, because I do tend to kind of start making these big dolls, when I do that. And so I picked up this little kit that's one of these poke embroidery things. I don't know really what it's called. This is the very first thing that I've done like this. It's pretty messy, but it's pretty forgiving, and it's full of just repetition. Like you do not have to think very hard. You're just poking something in and pulling it out and then poking it back in again. And I think I might be addicted. It might be a new thing for me. Um, it's just been kind of helping me take that moment that I need, and I'm, turning off the news and not reading all the things, but I really do need to just take a breath with my creativity, where I feel like I'm alive again, like I'm creative again, like I'm not just slogging through life and my nervous system isn't just firing, at will, and just making me feel miserable. You need these things in order to really take a breath and come back in. And there is something about sort of the repetitive stuff, that self-soothing, that just is like a balm to my soul and to sort of what's going on inside of me, that hits the reset button. So yeah, I'm just kind of sharing that and putting it out there. If you're kind of in that place too, I'd love to hear about that, because I think a lot of us are. And yeah, I'll put a little plug out there too. If you're looking for things to do that can kind of calm you down and get you back to center, check out the Artful Crone. That's my group. And every month we do a project. But I'm also going to put the link to this so you can see what I'm making. And I hope it turns out, because I think it could be kind of fun to have a bunch of these. So anyway, take care, take a breath, turn off the news if you need it, and just, yeah, feel your heart and say hello to your creativity every now and again.